Hello, welcome back to Navigating with Key, and my name is Kenneth Enojasenime Kea Key, and I'm your host. Today we will be taking another um, topic from my list of articles, and today's article I titled it "You Don't Need Closure to Move On." Have you heard many people say, "I need closure. I need closure." Do we really need closure to move on? Let's find out from today's article. So I'll read and just listen and get blessed, okay? And if it helps you, tell someone about the channel so that they can also be helped. We all need help one way or the other. So let's move on. You don't need closure to move on. It says one of the biggest myths we believe is that we need closure before we can move on. We tell ourselves, if only they explain, like, tell me why he did what he did or why she did what she did. If I understood why, if I got one last conversation with him or her. But life doesn't always give us closure. Some people leave without explanation. Some situations end without apology. Some chapters close mid-sentence. And waiting for closure can quietly keep you stuck. You remain in the same place where that thing happened. Closure is not something others give you. Now I want you to take note of that. Closure is not something other people give you. It is something you choose. All right? Sometimes the lack of answers is the answer itself. Not every ending is meant to make sense. Not every ending. Sometimes endings are meant to release you. When you wait for closure, you give others control over your healing. This is so deep. When you wait for closure, you give other people control over your own healing. You delay peace, hoping for understanding. But healing doesn't begin with answers. It begins with acceptance. Note this. Healing does not begin with answers. Healing begins with acceptance. Acceptance that you may never know why. I know some people don't agree with that. It's the truth. You need to accept it. Sometimes the answer would never come. Would you be stuck in that point because you didn't get the answer? No. You may never get clarity. You may never understand why the person did what he did or why she did what she did. And finally, you may never get validation. But you see, that's okay. Even if none of this happens, it's okay. Just accept it and then begin to heal from inside. Moving on doesn't mean you are okay with what happened. Did you get that? That you're moving on does not mean you're okay with what just happened. It means you are choosing not to carry it anymore. It could be a relationship. It could be an argument you had with someone. It could be anything. The fact that you've chosen to move on does not mean you're okay with what happened. It's just that you've decided in your heart not to carry it anymore. You don't need everything to be resolved to be free. You are the only one who can give yourself permission to move forward. And you need to offer yourself that permission. You need to let yourself move forward. You need to move away from that hurt. The person might never come back to tell you why he or she did what she did. You need to move away from that situation. Stop looking back. Begin to look forward. So if you are holding on, waiting for one last explanation, ask yourself this very gently. Like my people would say, call yourself into a meeting and ask yourself this. What would happen if I choose peace instead? What would happen if I choose to move on? Sometimes moving on its own is closure. Wow, this is so nice. It's so nice to know that I don't need to be stuck in one place because I don't have all the answers. So if you're in that situation where something had happened and then you are hoping this person could come and explain why he or she did what they did, you don't need the explanation. Choose to move on from that point. Now, you're moving on, like we said, it's not because you are okay with what they did. It's just that you have decided not to carry it anymore. Because carrying it is burden. Carrying it on its own is stress. So move on from that situation. Tell yourself, I am moving on from it. I don't need to know why they lied to me. I don't need to know why they set me up. I don't need to know why they deceived me. I have chosen to live my life and live it to its full. I think this is very, very important for all of us to have this knowledge that we can move on even without closure. Because sometimes moving on its own is the closure we need. Wow. I'm just pretty excited I had the opportunity to read this to you today. And I hope it brought some light to maybe a situation you're in. And if you heard this and you feel, man, there's sense in it, share it with someone. Let somebody know that they can be relieved of that situation. They can be free from that challenge. They can be free and move on without being stuck. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so glad I'm able to bring this to you today. And we'll have another video drop on Thursday. I would like that we tell people about this, let people hear about the good news that is going around. I call it good news because I'm excited. Many of these articles, sometimes I go back to read them just to bring some freshness into myself again. So, till next time, keep navigating and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.